What's up?
What's up?
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the Daily Bro Show. I'm joined here by TP once again.
What's up?
Yes, so today we're going to be talking about, guys, the hoverboards. Now, I know it sounds like a weird topic, but I don't know why, but I've been giving it a lot of thought recently. And maybe it's because I've been riding one of these things. But a lot of people are saying, like that thing with like two wheels or whatever. That you know that thing, TP?
Yeah, the little like Segway without the
Yeah,
stick.
the Segway without the stick is the hoverboard. Now, I really disagree with that because I don't feel like I'm hovering. In fact, that thing is super heavy. Like, you can't really do much with it. And it's not off, like, you can't just go anywhere with it. Like, you can't take it outside and ride it, really, unless you're, like, on a sidewalk or something, because it's, like, it just scratches up and, like, it's not good for
And it's got a
off-terrain.
little electric motor, so.
Yeah,
And they
yeah,
actually make Segways that are like, they have big off-road tires and stuff on them.
yeah. So, I don't know, I just thought that this design just was a little weird for a hoverboard. It's not even a board. I don't know why people call it the hoverboard. I mean, it was just a great marketing strategy, really, but it doesn't feel like a hoverboard to me. And it's basically just a two-wheeler. Like it's just, no, a Segway. It's basically just a Segway.
It's weird though because they came out in like 2015,
Yeah,
right when everyone was stressing about hoverboards from Back to the Future because
yeah,
they went into the future in 2015 and then those things came out and everyone was like, what the heck is this?
yeah. See that? See, it's great. People just didn't know what to call it. It's basically a Segway. That's all it
Yeah,
is, guys. It's
it's a
just
Segway
basically a
without sticks.
Segway.
And
And
it looks like it's so difficult to learn how to ride. You gotta like lean. It's just
yeah,
weird looking.
I don't think it's. So it does have a decent skill curve, but this design here just didn't seem right. Just put two opposite turning discs on a skateboard. That'll give anti-gravity. No, so we've actually discovered there's actually a few ways that we can create hovering stuff, and we'll be talking about that on the show today. Some of them are very absurd, but the first one is that
No such thing.
well, it's remember the cat trick that you got to do. What you do is you take a cat
Yeah.
and you take the
How
cat,
about just strap it to another cat?
turn it upside down. Oh shoot! What if you just strap it? Well, then it could land on its side.
No, because they always land on their feet.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well then, one of the cats, unless you tie them by their feet. All
I
right,
would
so
tie them by their. Okay. Yeah, I guess toast is better. But not everyone really knows that the toast
okay.
always lands the butter side down.
Okay, guys, toast always lands butter side down, and if you've never dropped toast, you can't relate. But if you've ever dropped toast, guys, there's no saving it. All right, you're gonna have to eat the dust with it. But basically, if you take a piece of toast, put some butter on it, and then you put it on the back of the cat, um, or if you put it on the cat's feet, right, then the toast can't. No, never mind. If you turn it upside down on the cat, I
Right,
don't know,
so
something like
we
that.
know that eating the dust with the toast isn't all that bad in Gabe's house because the dust in his house is gluten free and it's kosher. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you, TP, for clearing that up. But anyways, that's one way
Yes.
to create anti-gravity. But if we really take a look at it, guys, we have something called a ripstick. Now, I've been riding ripsticks for several years now. Actually, not ripsticks, just one ripstick, and then I tried another one. And a lot of people don't know what these things are, and I think these are the hoverboard. They should have marketed this as the hoverboard. Because when I ride this thing, I actually feel like I'm hovering. Like, the maneuverability on this thing is insane. And I get there's a high skill curve to it. It takes a little bit to learn how to ride it because it is a two-wheel skateboard, but just the design of it works. So what makes this thing so great is that you don't need a first of all, it doesn't require a battery, and you can do almost anything with it. You can go up hills with it. Only thing you can't do is off-roading. It doesn't work for off-roading yet, and I don't know, like Eric, yeah, most likely end of its face. Yeah, probably. But anyway, yeah, once you end up, probably actually, if you did the cat trick, because gravity just doesn't apply, it'd shoot up, wouldn't it? It wouldn't float, TP.
It would just spin really rapidly. It'd be more like a generator. Make some source of power with it.
Yeah, you could spin a turbine with it. That'd be really weird. But then we'd have the cats' rights activists around us, and
We'd have PETA.
yeah. So yeah,
Install Counter Strike sauce. No.
that's something to think about. But guys, the ripstick. I need to get some footage of me riding this, but I've been riding this thing forever, and like I said, you can basically go up, down, left. It's super maneuverable. This thing is the perfect design for the hoverboard. Now I know, like, if we're gonna make a hoverboard, this is the design I want it to be. It's like two separate panel things, like where you place your feet, and then you got that little thing in the middle, and that stick kind of rotates. And the way you power it is by twisting yourself or by moving it back and forward. So you never have to get off of it. And if you're really good at it, you can go up hills, you can do tricks with it, you can even jump, you can all this crazy stuff. You can grind. And this is actually the same exact one I have. For your listeners, you won't be able to see it, but if you're watching on the stream, this blue one right here is the one I have, and I got it at Toys R Us for like $70. And it's very important to invest in a really good one because the really bad ones they just don't work.
Because they're really bad ones.
Yeah. So let's talk about ways that we could possibly make this ripstick actually hover. Now we gotta define hovering first. What do people want when they say hover? Well, technically hovering is when it's just hovering something. I guess
It's
like
floating in
it's
place.
floating.
Really.
Yeah, I guess that's hover. Yeah, so floating in place. But we don't want something that floats in place, guys. That's not what we want. A hoverboard is legit just standing on a super powerful fan that just pushes you up a bit. Or a super powerful magnet or something. You know, that's a hoverboard. Elevators are probably hoverboards, aren't they? Not hoverboards, just hover boxes. Right, Tiffy?
Yeah.
Hover boxes. So we've already made the hover box, okay? The next thing we gotta make is not the hoverboard, but the flying board. You make a hoverboard, people would be disappointed, okay? You want the flying board. Um, so I guess we're looking for something that flies. And if you take the
Yeah, I mean, not only will it hover, but it also moves.
yeah,
So
and that's great.
maybe we put a little propeller on the back of it and it just goes zzz
No, I
nonstop.
think we can get away with no propeller. In fact, I think we can just get away with mechanical energy only. So like you don't have to put in a battery. You don't have to charge it at night. You know, no, it's like all you got to do is just use it like you would a ripstick. And by doing that, by moving both panels in a certain way, it'll propel you forwards. It creates motion.
Whoa. Science with Gabe.
The floor is capitalism. Yeah, so that's what I found pretty interesting
The
about this.
floor.
So are we almost there? I'd say we're pretty close. I mean, we got all these magnets now. I mean, you could put magnets on the bottom of these things. Honestly, I think something with, I don't even know if magnets would be possible, but what I think would be is if you had certain places where there was a magnets on the floor, like, maybe like some kind of like ice rink, except it's a magnet, and maybe you put ice on it just for fun. But basically, you could like maybe ride on one of those. They'll give you a strong enough opposite end magnet. But are there any like risks in involving that though? Like, what kind of injuries could people get from magnets?
Crushed.
Yeah, could people get crushed? Or what if
Yes.
someone found like a really like opposite magnet that would like steal it from you? I don't know. There's a lot of consequences with magnets, I feel like. But I guess getting a high powered magnet like that would be pretty tough to get. And the cost of these would probably be, I wouldn't say they'd be high. I mean, I
They're
could see people going somewhere and just riding these. Like, not so much riding it on the streets or anything, because you'd have to have that magnet flooring or whatever, which would probably be super expensive. And the upkeep of it would be insane, because you'd have to replace it so often, because magnets eventually die out. So,
they really though.
well, I think they can lose its um, like potency kind of.
What
Like if
about those like Earth magnets or whatever?
I mean, iron is magnetic, right? And you
Yes.
can make it more magnetic by I think rubbing it or something by creating static electricity. Um,
Just
I took
rubbing
chemistry.
magnets
Yeah,
against it will make it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I took chemistry a long time ago, and I remember doing this, but I don't remember all the specifics. Um, but basically, if you rub a magnet against it, you can give the iron a charge, but it won't be charged forever, right? It'll eventually lose all
You just
those.
gotta stick the electrons to the neutron.
You'll eventually lose all those charging whatever. I think they're electrons. That give it magnetism, right? And I mean, if you damage the magnets or something like that, they'll lose its power. But the other way people have been thinking about it is by using like high-powered fans.
Well, I mean, if you break a magnet in half, it just becomes two magnets.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, okay, I'm not. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, we can use super high-powered fans. I guess TP said using two magnets from one magnet. Um, I just wonder how they would use the fans though, because wouldn't it? It would be very hard to place on there, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it.
I'm not a
See, putting a fan on a
physicist or whatever.
ripstick, I just couldn't imagine. It's too much. Unless people just rode on fans. What if they just
That would
rode
be a
on?
super powerful fan to lift
Yeah,
up the average American person.
it'd be a super. But they've done it. Have you guys seen the hoverboards they use in the military? They're not hoverboards. They're
What?
like hoverboats. Basically, they have
Hovercraft.
hovercraft. Um,
Yeah, but those are
wow.
enormous.
Yeah, they're enormous and they have super powerful fans. Now, I think the risks with running fans is that people are going to lose fingers, uh, debris, because there's going to be a lot of debris just flying around when someone turns that thing on. Uh, it could be a weapon almost.
Mass destruction.
Like rocks are going to go flying and all this crazy stuff's going to happen.
Just a painting of a peacock, and it's actually really good.
All right, someone just said you could use your legs to push it. I mean, if you had a regular
No.
hoverboard, if you had a
No
regular,
American. No
if,
American wants to use their
yeah,
leg.
if you had this thing, guys, a regular hoverboard from like Back to the Future or something, I mean, you could push it with your legs. That's plausible to get it to move. It'll hover, but you push it with your legs. Um, I mean, that's fine. But I'm gonna be over here with my ripstick, where I don't gotta do that. You see what I'm saying? Like, you could propel it yourself without having to. All you gotta do is twist your body. I mean, it's. So what's
Yeah.
going on? Are you the maker of the game? You know, I wish I was the maker of the game. I, Anyway, back on topic. So that's pretty much what we got here. Now, I want to share you guys a story about making vehicles. Now, I haven't made any hoverboards by all means, but I've made some pretty decent vehicles in my life. And we're going to talk about the time where I was a little. I was second grade, and there's this huge hill right by my house. 'Cause we always lived in like hilly or mountainous areas. Anyways, so what they did is I was just walking. I saw my brother and his friend there, and we had this. You know those like little cars that toddlers push with their feet and move
Yeah.
around. Yeah. So there was one of those. Okay, and what they did is they picked me up, dumped me in it, and then pushed me down the hill. Now, after seeing that skateboard video, I'm like really thinking, rethinking like all of this now, and like, dang, like because I was going pretty fast. We were hitting speeds of maybe 15, 20 miles an hour, going down that hill, if not faster.
That we never knew were possible.
Yeah. So it was kind of crazy, and basically what ended up happening is I luckily it didn't flip over and I freaking road burned myself. What happened is I hit the curb and then I flew out and I was okay. And then I went back up to the hill and we're like, guys, let's make a vehicle out of it. Like, let's do something with this. And everyone's like, okay, let's do it. So we take another one of those push cars, but it's a motorcycle this time. We take some like party string or what do you call it? That's like that plastic string that's colorful.
Not sure.
For balloons maybe. I forgot the name of it. It's like a
Just
ribbon.
Oh, ribbon. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's just ribbon. And then we took it, we tied it to it because we couldn't even find rope. Okay, none of that hemp stuff. But anyways, so we took it, we tied the motorcycle to that big car. We took some like outdoor cushions that we just found and we threw them on the big car because you can't really fit inside. We were a little too big to fit inside the taller cars at the time. So we threw it on top of the car, and it was kind of like a wagon almost then. And basically, you could sit one guy in the back. So if we have the vehicle like a rectangle, one guy would sit in the back, two guys could fit in the middle, and then one guy would sit in the front. And the guy in the back would have his legs overhanging at the back. Guy in the front would have his legs overhanging in the front. And the two guys would like sit in the two seats that we made. And then you had the dude driving the motorcycle. No, we didn't use fishing line. We didn't have fishing line at the time because I didn't go fishing when I was that young. You probably did, but I didn't. But yeah, so that was pretty it. That was pretty much the car, and then we had some safety devices in place because we were like, maybe it's not super safe to go down like that. Because when I flew out, I went like it was like a bottle rocket. You kind of just go straight up and then straight down. I mean, if I wasn't paying attention, I would have easily hit my head really hard.
Tie yourself in with some rope and put a helmet on.
So yeah, we did put a helmet on. We never figured. Why did we never think of that? Why did we never attach ourselves to the vehicle? I don't know, because that actually would have been useful. But we did have some safety features put in place. So the first one was in the toy motorcycle. There's remember these things are attached by string. Okay. So the toy motorcycle, there's a little hole there, supposedly for like gas or something, but it's fake, right? So it just leads to the bottom, and we'd have these big sticks, okay, not terribly big, but big enough to where we could shove it down there, and it would hit the ground.
Oh my gosh! Oh no! Are they attached to you?
And no, the sticks aren't attached. So we take the sticks, we shove it down that hole, and
Oh no!
and it would slow us down. Okay, the friction would slow us down enough.
Oh, so it was kind of like a weird break.
Yes. What did you think was gonna happen?
I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I guess that's really the only thing that it can really do is you're sticking a.
Well, you'd be
Yeah,
surprised,
I mean,
TP.
that sounds like a pretty bad break, though. I mean, how well did that really work?
We'll get there. This is why I was
You
so
need to put
stupid.
You need to put something like a broom up the hole rather than down the hole, so you can have the broom part at the bottom.
Listen,
that wouldn't fit in the hole.
We only could use what we found outside. Like
Oh man,
we were gonna go destroy our own stuff.
if we had a broom, that would have been a much better.
I was in second grade. I probably didn't even know what a broom was. So yeah, that's basically how the brake system worked. And we'd always carry two sticks on us because usually one could be enough. I mean, it wasn't enough to really like slow you down to a complete stop, but it was enough to slow you down so that when you crashed into something, it wouldn't hurt as bad. That was
Yeah.
really the goal of it. We also put an airbag in there, which is basically a trash bag stuffed with leaves, like a lot of leaves. And
I mean, that's not too bad.
yeah, it wasn't that bad. Was it that useful? No, and I'll explain that why later. And then we also had like this was like legit the last system that we had. This was oh never mind, we had another one before we get there. We did have the emergency brake, which is basically one of those other sticks that we have, and I deploy it, so I just kind of push it out because I'd usually either sit in the very back or I'd sit in the very front, and I'd push it out, and uh, the stick would go out, and then a trash bag would just open up, kind of like a parachute, and
I don't think that really works.
yeah, we'll explain that why later. I mean, we were just doing what we could, you know. So then we had the very last emergency system, which was the emergency bailout system. So basically, if you ever needed a bailout, first you could either jump out, okay, which was really stupid, and I don't know why we'd ever thought of that or do it. But the last ditch effort was emergency ejection. And what you do, or what I do, is I'd lean back just a little bit and just kind of put a little bit more pressure there on the very back of that vehicle, and the whole thing would just flip over.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking you'd do. That's like a better break than sticking a stick outside of it. But
Yeah.
yeah, just flip it over backwards and it'll scrape all over the ground.
Yeah, about
I
that.
imagine that thing was pretty beat up when you got done with it.
Oh yeah, we never saw it after that. Probably because our parents were like, you know, maybe we shouldn't let these kids play with this stuff. I didn't know they were that dangerous. Anyway, so if there's ever a car or something, that was our last ditch effort. We'd either jump out of the thing or we would flip it over and just come to a very sudden stop. Uh, so yeah, that was kind of how that car worked. And then there's another thing. Actually, no, that was it. We didn't do anything else besides that as far as safety. We might have tried implementing seatbelts, but I don't think we ever did. I know we had ideas for more safety features, but basically, here's how the runs would normally work. So I'd be usually driving, okay, because I got pretty good at it. So someone would sit on the toy motorcycle, and then the guys would sit in the back on the other thing that was attached by string. So on our first attempt, sometimes the string vehicle would go in front of the motorcycle because it was heavier, you know, so I'd go in front sometimes, and it would just freaking drag the motorcycle with it. Um, and then other times you'd have the motorcycle go down, and a car would show up, and we'd just flip it over or something. Uh, but a few times in particular really stood out, and usually we'd have the driver wearing a helmet or something. Uh, but one time my brother Michael wanted to go on it, and we told him, bro, I don't know if you want to do this. But he's like, okay, I want to do it because he saw us doing it, and he was like, I really want to do this. He's like, okay, so we told him, Michael, you should probably wear this helmet, and he's like, I don't wear helmets. And he's like, dude, you gotta wear a helmet. He's like, no. So he just hops in the vehicle, and then just rides down the hill. Okay, we told him that he was gonna get hurt, and then he crashes into like this like brick. You know those like garden bricks that people put like to surround their garden?
Yeah.
Yeah, he crashes into some of those and like scrapes himself up
Oh
really
no.
bad. He still has the scars from it too, which just shows you how stupid we were. But anyway, so yeah, and then after that, he never talked to me ever again, and that is why he's no longer on the channel. Keep in mind that was second grade for me. So yeah, that was the end of Michael, and then here's the time in particular that really stood out to me. This is the story I tell everyone. When people hear this story, this is the one they always hear. This is the one they ask for. Basically, we built this car, right? And we're going down this hill. We're hitting speeds of 15 to 25 miles an hour, which is pretty fast, okay? If you've ever gone biking or skateboarding at those speeds and fallen off, you'll know that it isn't quite pleasant. So basically, we're going down this hill. Our friend, a different friend showed up actually. His name was Victor, and anyways, he was gonna drive the vehicle this time, and I didn't know if I was too comfortable with that because you know I wasn't really sure what was gonna happen. So he hops in the vehicle. We give him the two brakes. I hop in the back, and then Alex hops in the middle, and then Michael was in there, so no one hopped in the other seat. So then we're like, all right, let's go. So we give ourselves a push off the hill. We're going down, and we're going unusually fast this time, which was kind of odd. Well, I guess it wasn't odd, but we were going unusually fast, and we're going down this hill, and we're like, okay, man, maybe we should start slowing down a bit. So we're like, all right, man, use the brake because we were just walking through how to work it. So he puts the stick in there, just snaps. Like it, we were going too fast at this point. It just snaps, and then he holds up a broken stick, and I'm like, shoot, man, we're like, use the emergency brake. He just holds up a broken stick. TP, do you understand what happened there?
Yeah, yeah.
Emergency brake was already broken before I realized it. So
I
we're
thought the emergency brake was just flipping it over.
no, we had the two sticks. Remember?
Oh.
That was we had, or I guess you call it a backup brake. So then they're like, okay, Gabe, deploy the chute. So I put the chute out, flies right off the stick. Okay, like we were going
How
too.
fast going?
Just imagine going down a really steep hill on something with wheels, anything with wheels. You're going really fast, okay? I mean,
Is that exactly what you were doing?
yeah. So the chute just flies straight off, okay? And we are like freaking out. I'm like, oh god, I don't want to die. So,
End up like that skateboard.
so it was too fast to go to use the bailout system because if we bailed out at those types of speeds, I mean, basically the whole thing just flips over. Okay, it's basically what we use for cars. So we didn't think about going that. But even before we had time to react, the second the chute flies out, slam right into a mailbox. Okay, I don't know how we
Oh
hit this
no.
mailbox. Slam right into a mailbox. Victor, the guy driving the vehicle, goes flying. He's 10 feet away from the vehicle. Alex is underneath the freaking car.
What the heck?
I don't know how he got underneath the car, and he's just screaming because the car is like heavy. And then me, who's sitting in the back, I got my legs stuck underneath the car, and my butt's like squashing my own legs underneath the car, which is squashing Alex in return. Victor's like gone. We
Wait, there
lost.
were 3 people in it?
Yeah, only 3 people this time because Michael quit after that.
Wait,
Uh,
was no one steering while it happened?
he was steering. I don't know how we crashed into a mailbox. Like, I guess he. I don't know. I guess it was better than just keep going straight. I don't know. I mean, it's really hard to steer it to be honest because of the string. You know. Uh, but yeah, that was pretty much it. He started squeaking the horn. it was, it was hilarious though. Even though it was super dangerous. That was like the only time we didn't go down with the helmet that time. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. And then we got up, and then like the smart people we are, we kept doing it. We went up to the hill. We did some more attempts.
It's funny that randomly hits mailbox.
I know.
Comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, we hit our one of our friends' mailbox. Um, we didn't break the mailbox or anything, but you might be able to find someone's like indent on there. I don't know. But yeah, that was like the one story that really stood out there. But there are a few others. One time we were going down it, and just the crazy things we do while going down. One time we were going pretty fast. Car shows up out of nowhere. So I freaking just jumped out the window. Like I just jumped out, and then everyone else just crashed into it. And yeah, so that's basically it. It's just us jumping out and stuff of that vehicle. And TP is we don't have an expert for the show, but I will check the Discord. Okay, we don't have an expert for the show, so that's basically it for that story for the most part. But TP, do you have any final thoughts on that?
There's memes.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You got the memes. All right, guys. So for our podcast viewers, we're gonna take a quick meme break, and then for our live stream viewers, we're gonna look at some memes. Okay. We're not going to watch that skateboard video because I was just going to say. What's this one? What you see Dake Tank Carl Muse. The revolution is now a comrade. Dake Tank. Okay. What you see. Alright, great. What's next? Tell me what's wrong. Why is there a D in fridge but no D in refrigerator? What? I just realized that too. Gosh. I feel like Okay, that's probably like everyone right now. Boy, if you don't, what is this? Is it even? It probably doesn't even shoot.
I don't know. It might.
Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. That's probably like $1,000 gun. It's like, all right, what's next? Without a heartbeat, you turn white. Wait, really? Oh, I guess yeah. Without air, you turn blue. Yes, but then you'll turn white. Um, Without a brain, you turn red. That's funny. If you guys don't know who this is, that's Karl Marx. In sociology class, we had to learn about him. All right, Madagascar. Gas car. Uh, okay. What's next here? Levi's. What is it, TP? I don't get this one. Okay, I'll just go to the next one. Yes, I've always wondered how they were made, TP. That is interesting. These are all fresh memes though, which is great. Hey baby, come over here. Will you check your email for a verification so I can play Wizard 101? You know, I actually played Wizard 101 for a few days. Did anyone else play? Did you play Wizard 101, TP?
What?
Did you ever play Wizard 101? Alright, anyways,
No.
the combat sucked. Everything sucked in that game. It was basically like Toontown except with wizards. Anyone else played Toontown? I feel like it was only me. Probably only me. Flaming Steel. Okay. You guys can read that yourself. But that's pretty interesting. Wait, which one? Wizard 101 or Toontown? Both were pretty weird. Toontown I actually found a way to enjoy. Wizard 101 was like, nah, not for me. And then we stopped playing Toontown very quickly. Oh, that's really weird. Anyways, when you walk into the Fury convention and you pull out your air. Oh, the furry, not Fury. Okay.
The heck?
Yeah, we're gonna. All right. Government, get out, repack-a-man. Great. What's next? Is that it, TP? Oh, that dude looks weird. When your homie gets kidnapped by the Skittles factory. Yeah. Is this what he really looks like? What did he do to himself? Breaking news: Ooga Booga win World Cup 2018. Frog Eaters defeat Table Flag. Ooga Booga says 100% French. Alright. BreakYourOwnNews.com. Mario strangles Naruto. Okay. I've actually seen this guy's video. It's really weird, but it's funny. Alright. That's someone taking his poop on the government. Alright. So is that it for the fresh memes, TP? Oh no, there's more. Great. This one's gonna be probably bad. Man, 2017 was sure hope 2018 would be much better. Literally on the first North Korea can say that the nuclear. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that Tide Pod thing, that could have been easily prevented. You wanna know how they could easily prevented it? If people just didn't spread it. If the news stopped talking about it, maybe. If people stopped posting it on all their social medias. Honestly, if the news just stopped talking about it.
Dude, the one at the bottom when the game was rigged from the start.
Your German roommate says that he went to expand the living room. Okay. What the heck? What is? Okay. Okay. Let's move on. The game was rigged from the start.
Do you get that?
uh.
It's from Fallout. When this guy at the very end kills you in one of the games, he goes, turns out the game was rigged from the start. It's got SpongeBob when the game was rigged from the start.
Oh gosh.
I'm saving that one also. When he's dressed up in the suit and pants and he's got the gun and everything.
Oh my god. Yeah. The game was rigged from the start. So is that it for the fresh memes? Let me take the Daily Bro show real quick. I know we had a few stuff in the Daily Bro show that maybe we shouldn't show. Yeah, I don't know if I want to show these actually. Okay. We're not going to look at those before or something. Alright. So yeah. I think that's good for the daily memes, unless TP finds more. Yeah, unless TP finds more memes, I think we're good. So yes, guys. I guess now we're going back to hoverboards. And yeah, this is not gonna work. The one from Back to the Future, honestly, I think that design is never gonna be a hoverboard because it just doesn't make sense on how it would work. I just couldn't see people ride it because you don't get maneuver. Have you seen it, TP? The hoverboard from Back to the Future?
Yeah.
It just doesn't look like it would have maneuverability because it's like a skateboard almost, right? Pretty much. Yeah, it just wouldn't work like that. Did you send another one? What the heck? Okay. So yeah, I think we can go ahead and safely say that this design won't work, and that we're gonna be seeing more of a ripstick design. Honestly, I'd like to see a ripstick design. And if you guys are all having these things, if you guys have these things, and are calling these a hoverboard, you're wrong. All right, these things are just not hoverboards. It's actually these things right here. Yeah, I think that's what we've concluded for that. TP, do you want to tell us about sleep paralysis?
What about it?
Do you want to tell us about it? We're gonna change subjects probably. TP.
What?
Sleep paralysis.
Oh, no.
You don't want to?
No.
Should I tell him or not?
Already discussed that.
Alright, fine. We'll talk about my driving experience then. Alright, guys. I don't know what most people do when they first get on the road, but the first thing I did was go to, like, Tennessee. Anyways, so here where I'm at, there's a lot of driving regulations. I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's because it's a lot of mountainous roads, and they're not necessarily the easiest or technically considered roads. But anyways, you gotta drive for at least 6 hours before you can take your test, like with an instructor. So the first day he takes you to like a neighborhood, and you go ahead and drive around it pretty slowly, and it's not bad. Um, yeah, and then after that you'll drive back, and then the next day, uh, he takes you on the interstate. So you just go. I mean, it escalates pretty quickly. He's like, all right, we're going on the interstate. So you go on the interstate, and it's not. I mean, it's not that bad once you're on it, but merging at first seems a little tough. And then after that, he takes you to Tennessee and then back. So after you drove for 6 hours, you go and you take your test. And what they've always told me about this test, guys, is that you'll never get the same questions twice. Boy, were they wrong. That's all they were telling me is like they never told me anything about it. They didn't tell me what the questions were going to be. They didn't tell me anything like that. They're just like, you'll never get the same question twice. So I take the test the first time. I barely failed it. Like I was like one question away and I failed it. And then I came back and I took it again because if you miss 3 questions, it's 20 questions, and if you miss 3 of them, you fail and you have to come back. Like I think like a week later or the next day or something. I think not a week later. You can just come back the next day. I think. Uh, I should reinstall War Thunder maybe. But anyways, what you do after that, you pass the test. Well, actually, before you're there, I got all the same questions again. They said I wouldn't, but I legit just got the same test with maybe one or two different questions. Just maybe I got really lucky. I don't know if I'm like that one in a billion that did get the same questions again the second time they took it. But that's basically how I passed the test. Just memorize the questions, and then after that, you have to drive for 60 hours, and yeah, just 60 hours, and then by yourself. Or no, you drive with your parent because you get your permit, and after 60 hours and a year later, you can get your actual license. So I recently just got my actual license, and I got a car. It's like a really old. It's like 20 years old, but it's all right. And I turned it on a hill, and it just immediately stalled out, and then I crashed into a bumper. And yeah, that was yesterday when I came back from work. But what if they made hoverboards go extremely fast? Would people have to get a license for them? Did you send more memes? Okay, that's just a really weird looking McDonald's box. Okay. I forward. Wait, forward.
This video.
Strike, scream, and run. All right, let's try it.
What? Yeah.
What, the video?
Oh, the bro court's today. I'm gonna probably make a video from the bro court. You need the link where to post memes. Go to the Daily Bro Show and post all your memes there. Daily Bro Show. There should be a link for the Discord in the description. Do you think people need a license for hoverboards if they go fast?
They shouldn't have to, but they probably will.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's just gonna be another thing they regulate. Which would
Did you
just
see the video though?
yeah, it was okay.
It's the Minecraft sound when he runs away.
Yeah. But yeah, TP. TP, I think you're. Would anyone like to come on the show? I don't know. If you guys want to share your stories, because last time we brought in someone to talk, but if you guys want to share your stories, just join, I guess, stream waitlist and we'll move you in the Daily Bro Show. But, TP, I think it's your time to talk to us about hoverboards.
What?
Just go ahead, start talking.
About what?
You just gotta talk, bro.
Oh, about what?
Hoverboards, anything, funny stories, sleep paralysis, maybe.
Oh, I don't have any of those experiences.
You don't need to have this. Tell your own personal experience that you can relate to it, though.
I don't.
That's a lie. Tiffy.
I don't have one.
Not even in like Minecraft or something. I can tell you a whole bunch of Minecraft. One time I was on this railway in Minecraft. We went to a cave straight off the cliff into lava. Okay. How to lose all your gear 101. Am I right, TP?
Who built the track that goes into the lava?
Wasn't me. Actually, I don't know if we did that. I think what happened is it was like a 1x1, and one of those like lava things flew out and hit us, so we just caught on fire. And yeah, Minecraft used to be really hard for me to play for some reason. Like I used to suck at it, but it's hard to suck at Minecraft, you know. I think it's just because our PC only got like 6 frames a second, but like I don't know. It's very interesting. But yeah, TV. So, what are your thoughts on hoverboards? I mean, you gotta tell us
We
your
need
thoughts.
them.
When do you think they'll come out, though?
2050.
Really?
I don't know. I don't think it's far off, but it's probably not too close either.
Yeah, I think for commercial use, I think we'll see it eventually. But like, I think someone will make a hoverboard like coming up pretty soon. I I just don't know how well it's gonna work. I think it's gonna have something to do with magnets and maybe like riding it on some kind of magnetic surface. Posted a link for meme somewhere. Alright, take care. But yeah. Tippy,
Yes.
you gotta share your thoughts on hoverboards real quick.
Well, I mean, it sounds pretty cool, but it's definitely not going to happen.
How did you think they were gonna work?
I figured like some sort of jet or something on the bottom of it, and it would propel it up, or some sort of big
Like a
like
jet?
industrial turbine.
Like a jet? Oh my gosh. What do you think about the Segway hoverboards though? Do you actually think they're like hoverboards, or do you think they're just?
No, that's just a Segway without a stick.
And people called them hoverboards for. I actually
Just
have one of them.
because
Someone gave it to me as a gift.
like the original company called it that, and then
Oh really?
everyone else just copied it.
But they're not hoverboard. I don't. It's
So many
false
different companies.
Can I sue them for false advertising? Like I bought it thinking I'd hover on a board. It's not a board and it doesn't hover. I mean, it just.
It's just you just want like a wood board that floats.
Pretty much. I mean, yo, what if they just gave you like
I guess
a
that'd be a lot cooler than what they currently have.
probably like even if it was
Just
like
a regular old wood board that floats would be better than a Segway without sticks.
exactly. Or you know what would actually be pretty cool? What if they had a board that you could ride on ice? But it's not like a snowboard, but like an ice board.
Oh, I was about to say, I'm like, they have a snowboard.
Yo, what if we made ice boards?
They're called skis.
Yeah, but that's like it's not a board. It's like
What about skates, ice skates? You don't need a whole
ice skate.
board if
That's
you just have
true.
skates.
Why would you? Well, if you want the hover experience, you take ice, you take some glass, and you hover on the board. But like at a set altitude. No, snowboards are for snow. They don't work on ice. I guess skis would work kind of on ice and ice skates, but why use ice skates when you can use a hoverboard? Those hoverboards are heavy though. And I don't understand how they can make something that heavy hover.
Plus, they tend to catch on fire. So
Yeah, I don't think they're allowed on airplanes. It was funny though. We were in an airport. This was like in one of our first bro vlogs that we ever did on the channel. My brother was in the airport and he saw them selling them on in the airport, even though they're banned on planes. TV.
it's a scam.
Probably, I don't know. It's probably
You'll
it's
buy
probably
it and leave it there.
yeah, that's how they get their stuff back. They don't have to buy. That's a perfect business model.
No, that's not. That's a terrible one.
It works for them apparently. They're taking
It's
off.
for when you come off of the plane.
Maybe. I don't know why anyone would want one though. They go pretty slow. I feel like I run faster than I know I run faster than I could probably walk faster than it too.
Plus, it's better exercise.
And they're dangerous. Like if you get off wrong or something, think it would just turn around and whack you. Like, is there liability issues with hoverboards?
I don't know.
I don't know. I wonder if these companies get sued all the time.
Oh, anybody gets sued for anything.
Yeah, but we don't hear about it. Probably because they're all non-disclosed amounts. But yeah, I just thought the hoverboard topic was a little bit interesting. I just don't know. I mean, like, just the way they market. I mean, what if I just made a wooden board and just called it a hoverboard? But oh shoot, bro! I just had something crazy. I know how we do it. All right, you take like little balls, little balls, and you put them at the bottom of the board. So the bottom of the board is just rolling. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a hoverboard. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
A board that roll around.
Yo, I need to design that before someone steals it from me. It's like a board. It's like a wooden board maybe, and then you just have like all these little balls at the bottom of it. You could put like some WD-40 there, and you'll be sliding around the whole place.
How do you attach the little ball to the bottom of it?
You use like you put like so in the board. What you'll do is you'll put these lines that cross, and you'll just put like beads. You put the beads on through the things. I don't know how to explain it. It's like axles. You'll have like a million different axles, and you'll attach the balls on there. But no, but that'd limit their movement. Shoot, how could we do it though? Or I guess or maybe hold up, would it work on salt? Oh, I wonder. What if you took have you ever played that game where you like at like bars or something like where you have a like metal uh disc and you slide it across the table and you try to get it as far as you can but not over the edge. Have you ever played that game? Shuffleboard?
Oh, no.
Okay, well, what they use is they use salt to create kind of like a floating effect. So I wonder if salt at the bottom of your board would do it, like just riding on salt. I don't know. I mean, it's just stuff to think about. Um, I don't know. There's a lot of ways you could. I don't honestly. I don't think they'll ever make a hoverboard that'll actually hover like we all thought it would. But I think they'll make something clever to where it could pass off. Like that ball thing, I think that could really work. If you could just figure out how to make the balls roll in all the directions. Kind of like, have you seen that like one wheeler thing that people ride around on? The wheel. It's just like a wheel. TV.
Like a unicycle?
No, no, no. It's like a electric one. It's like the hoverboard except it's one wheel. And they go pretty fast.
I don't know.
You never seen one of those?
I don't think.
Yeah, it would require a lot of salt. But like hoverboards maybe in like certain areas. Like what if you took the power of ice hockey and turned it into not like table hockey. If you turn table hockey into a hoverboard, that could work. I don't think it could actually. I don't know. There's ways that you can make it probably pass off. No, you don't need to spend your real money to do it. Just send them. You need to send screenshots to them. Sounds like a horrific accident. Probably. Yeah, what if someone fell and got all the salt in their eyes? Yo, can you go blind from salt in your eyes?
I don't know. It kind of sounds like it.
Can salt make you... Too much MSG could cause blindness.
Dude, this villager in Minecraft is like a scammer. He will give you 9 leather for 1 emerald, but if you click on the little arrow and go to the next trade deal, it's 3 emeralds for 1 leather pair of pants. It only takes 7 leather to make a pair of pants.
That's Minecraft villager logic for you. You gotta get
But
the good ones.
He'll charge you 3 emeralds for, let's just say, 7 pieces of leather.
See, the
But
problem,
you can give him 9 pieces of leather for 1 emerald.
the problem with the emeralds, I've never found a use for them. They're like really
Yeah,
hard to
the only thing they're for is just trading with villagers, really.
Yeah, I mean they're like a direct decorative block as well. But like if you don't trade with the villagers, they're like
Oh yeah, they grow beets and stuff in their gardens.
I just don't know
now.
why I'd want it.
Yeah, their
Even though it
gardens
doesn't
and
make
stuff grow beets in them now.
sense. A pocket.
What?
I don't know, I'm just reading chat. But yeah, that's just things to think about for the hoverboard. I don't know how well it's actually gonna work. I just don't think it's gonna look like this in the end. But I think we are close to something. I mean, if you guys never rode a ripstick, it's basically like riding a hoverboard, except you could fly off at any moment. Yeah, maybe I'll get some video of me riding my ripstick or something. But you can move it. The only direction you can't go is backwards, but you can just turn around. It's not that hard. But I think that's pretty much it for today's bro show. We've covered the hoverboards. We've covered all this stuff. But let me know your guys' thoughts, unless there's anyone. Alright, so we're not going to be featuring anyone on the show today, but for tomorrow's bro show, we do have a court session. So if we'll be discussing the case and what's going on. Let me give you a quick overview of what's happening on tomorrow's daily bro show with the case. So basically, it's Duke versus D Money, and Duke's complaining about squaw talk in the Discord chat. So D Money is facing up to 1 to 4 weeks in gulag. So if you want to be there and support whoever thinks is right or help make the decisions, we'll have a jury. And what will happen is um, we will all go to there should be the bro court chat, which is this one right here in the Discord. So if you're not part of our Discord yet, make sure you join it. But you'll go to the bro court chat, and we'll go down the list. We'll present what's happening, and everyone will either say gulag for you or no, or like something else.
Vlad luck.
Bro shows today's bro show's over. It ends at 9 o'clock. Yeah, this was definitely one of the shorter shows. It typically runs from 8 to 9. We're ending it a bit early because it was hard to plan out this one. I planned out a little bit for it, but I had to work yesterday, so I didn't really have time to plan. But tomorrow's bro show should be really epic, guys. It'll be one of the longer ones if we can get it there, because there's gonna be a bro court, and also I think we'll be doing a little talking. On Wednesday, we're gonna have Lee Bass back again to talk about the American Jets, and then for the rest of the week, we haven't planned that out yet, so we'll get there. But yeah, guys, I hope to see you at tomorrow's bro show because it's gonna be really good. This is perfect time for Eastern Europe, by the way. Yeah, I figured. That's why we did it in the morning as well. So yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in today's bro show. Hope to see you tomorrow. Leave your thoughts down in the bro show chat. And we also take suggestions if there's certain types of bro shows you want to see, certain types of stories. We'll all get there. So yeah, hope you guys in today's bro show, and we'll see you in the next one.